Hey, Kyle. Today is our episode on X-Men.
This movie, when we went back through it for our X-Men journey, really surprised me. I had seen it before, but it had been a long time. And I remember feeling like, how in the world are X-Men fans not shouting about this film from a mountaintop? Because it actually ages pretty spectacularly well. The visuals look shockingly good, partially because they lean into the practical effects and all that stuff. The plot gets a little wonky here and there. There's definitely a New York Statue of Liberty type thing going on, but it's a really fun movie, actually.
Yeah. It's such a reminder of how important casting can be. You watch that movie and it's like, okay, there are a couple of characters that they had to nail here. And it's really Wolverine, Professor X, and Magneto. And they nail it right from the get-go. And that carries... Even at this franchise's lowest points, those elements generally stay pretty strong.
No doubt. There's still some rogue weirdness.
There are a
few things. There are a few awesome lines from Storm about what a toad does when it's struck by lightning, stuff like that. But for the most part, we were pretty shocked at how well it ages.
If you have not watched this movie in a while, I think that you'll enjoy it, especially if you're watching it now after having seen Deadpool and Wolverine, because I feel like it's kind of that moment of like every time I would finish reading through like the Harry Potter series, I would always get to the end and then it kind of connects back to the beginning. So then I'm like, well, now I want to start all over again.
No doubt.
And Deadpool and Wolverine is such a kind of like, there's that sweet nostalgia moment, even just the credits.
For sure.
That like make you really want to go back and see Hugh Jackman get his start, not just as Wolverine, but period.
And you forget how young they were at the time.
Yeah.
And seeing that in those credits really reminds you. Not to mention, just the reminder that they were taking some swings at the time. They didn't know how it was going to go.
Right.
So seeing that and how young they were was pretty fun.
Yeah. And the start for Kevin Feige.
No doubt.
We're watching these movies in the aftermath of Deadpool and Wolverine, which is the reunion of Kevin Feige and Hugh Jackman, which really is like that was the start of the modern superhero movie era. So it's just a fun, like it's a great way to look at not just what an X-Men movie can be, but also I think you just see a lot of seeds for what superhero movies became over the 2 decades that followed.
Back to your casting thing for one brief moment. It's not to the degree of Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, but you do now see the seeds of how well they nailed the Hugh Jackman side of this, that not only Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine so well, but also just a character that was going to be willing, able, and just really kill it, carrying them through all these years, going back all the way to X-Men 2000 in this film.
And
now we're 2024.
Something that I love a lot about the Hugh Jackman casting, and I think this kind of applies with RDJ, is the way that the character not necessarily was initially portrayed, but certainly as it grew, it really allowed the actor to age with the character. And in some ways, I actually think that by the time you get to the mid-2010s Logan stuff, you see it kind of works better the more he ages, because he kind of looks more weathered. And like RDJ is not that, but I kind of think that RDJ becomes more charming the older he gets, because there's something kind of winsome and less like snarky.
Sure.
So I love seeing, like, not only was the casting great then, but whether it's like Jackman's talent or whether it's just the way the character is designed, like I think that he kind of only gets better as he gets more time with it.
The movie that kicked off this entire X-Men franchise is actually more of a blast to watch than you may remember. So go back, watch X-Men from 2000, and then listen to our full-length episode either here on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. It's really close to my first reaction to seeing that film 24 years after it released. It's pretty fun.
It's the only place that you will see a U.S. senator dissolve into a pile of water, a pile of water, because it's sort of solid at first.
So far. You never know. You never know what the rest of the year brings.
Yet.
Go check it out.